The hugely popular manga Hunter x Hunter is famous for its many absences and the difficulty in making progress in its story, but its interest is so high that its popularity does not wane even with the absences, and one of the reasons for this is the many foreshadowing lines scattered throughout the story. The mystery of the foreshadowing that has yet to be revealed is discussed. It existed in the quality of online articles and videos. In this article, I would like to introduce all the unclaimed foreshadowing as of 2020. If you want to see the rest of Hunter x Hunter after watching this video, please give it a high rating, and if you have any other foreshadowing like this, please let me know in the comments on the 18th. The place where one of us went when we first appeared, the one who passed the Hunter exam, when he and Killua returned to Mito, we found the tape that God left for the child. At that time, the person's line appeared for the first time, but at the same time, his true form and where he is now were also revealed. At that time, he was sitting on the back of a huge creature that looked like a Shinkai, and that creature was riding on the back of an even bigger dragon-like creature. And behind the dragon is an even more gigantic mountain range. At the time, we had no idea where this was, but it is said that this may be the Dark Continent. When Tell also went to the Dark Continent as a sneak preview, Netero was depicted as being surprised by the non-standardly huge creatures, and God was on board. The creatures were also considered to be powerful from the point of view of humans because of their non-standard size. This reminds me of the existence of the world time when Now and God talk to each other. The world is the biggest tree in the world, over 1,700 meters high, but God explained that the tree that Ima and his friends climbed was a tree that had stopped growing even then. The real world that exists on the Dark Continent is rooted in mountain ranges and is said to be so large that it can penetrate great dangers. In other words, there is a strong possibility that that place where people were on the 8-peak land may be the Dark Continent where the real world's best is located. In another depiction, the whole island looks like a tree that penetrates to the top of the clouds. It is not certain because people have never stated that they have been to the Dark Continent, but it is in the middle of remaining ever since Volume 8. Two cults' purpose for joining the brigade secretly changed in the Greed Island chapter and joined the Phantom Brigade. In the scene where he fought with an ant in the Chimera Ant arc after becoming a member of the Zordic family, he said that he would endure for many years. He stated that he was trying to get Tu-chan back. Who this elder brother is also remains a mystery. Dick's family has 4 older brothers who are either Ilmi Milky Chi or not. None of them have been taken by the Phantom Brigade, but there are many other theories, and interpretations vary from the treatment of getting back the 23 abilities that have been taken by Krollo, to getting back Baruka who has been possessed by something. In this channel, we have analyzed the theory that it is to restore the bond between the A family and the evil bride who has become obsessed with something. Is it because he needs strength for his purpose or to kill one of the members of the brigade? Is it to win the trust of the members and get them to cooperate with someone else's abilities? The truth remains a mystery. The identity of Shandon Freak Death Dawn Freaks is the author of a 300-year-old book about the Dark Continent, the New World Organization. When he first drew it, it was said to be the author's imagination, but now it is said that there are 2 rooms in the New World Organization, East and West, and only East has been found, so much so that even national institutions are making rules based on this book. In response to this, people make the bold observation that the dam is still alive, thinking that the West is still in the process of being drawn. Although people lived 300 years ago, there are some foods on the Dark Continent that are known as the ultimate longevity food, so it is conceivable that they are surviving on these foods. What is also curious is whether the word Blakeshi has the same surname as the wild man, Kono Sincha. Or is he a relative? The relationship between the two is still a mystery. For we still know very little about the Dark Continent, whether it is cold, what it is, or what it is. It is possible that there are beings similar to humans, since Beyond has stated that humans came from the Dark Continent a long time ago, and the Dark Continent has no place for a tribe of magical beasts to act as gatekeepers. There are also uninhabited cities, people if they protect them, and other things called ancient approximate age that can bring about various disasters. On the contrary, we know that there are also returns that would greatly advance the development of mankind, but that is about the only information we have, and they are unknown anyway. 5. The purpose of the Hunter Association's establishment. The reason why the Hunter Association was established is also unclear. As a matter of fact, some considered that the Hunter Association was created to conquer the Dark Continent. The current role of the association is to protect the social status of hunters and support their activities, but considering the original form of the hunter profession, one can imagine a pioneer rich in unknowns and difficulties. Wouldn't it seem that pioneering the Dark Continent is the ultimate significance of the existence of the fleet? Then, doesn't it seem to be the ultimate meaning of the existence of Starfleet to explore the Dark Continent? The former president of terrorism is also dead. Now, the truth of that was never told by Nero, but I hope the day will come when the truth will be known. 6. Now, the reason why I called out God 8 above, now suddenly I called out people. In fact, this was a foreshadowing that God might not be the real father this time, but an older brother. The evidence of this was that now I felt like God was more like an amazing relative than a father. He told me that he felt more comfortable calling him by his first name, and he seemed to be starting from the idea of seeing him as a father. In fact, when they first met, he never once used the words dad or father, but always called me I. Furthermore, in the Dark Continent section, you have a third person who has the same name as Mr. Freak, the Onanin surname Freak. Some consider that he may be the real father. 7. The mother and the mother-to-be have not yet been revealed either. 3. Or, in a box entrusted to me by a person, there was a cassette tape with a message from God blasted into it. On this tape, people will now try to speak about their mothers, but now I have stopped playing the tape before I hear it. My mother expresses the idea that I should have met Hassan and my foster parents, but the cassette tape was never heard again due to the ability of the Son of God, so I still don't know who my mother is this time. 8. What Miki wanted to talk to people during the chairman election. Hisoka tried to talk to people. During the presidential election, he said that he wanted to talk to people. This was the first and last time he said he wanted to talk to someone, even though he wanted to fight. Hisoka's visit to the election of the chairman was for the purpose of scouting for his next target, and he had been practicing with the hunters and the 12 gods he had seen. But the big mystery is that he does not want to fight with the gods, but to talk with them. Does he want to know his current roots, such as how he raised his rapidly growing bomb? Or is he interested in the existence of God himself? Hisoka is only interested in fighting even that black in combat doctrine, and he even didn't know about the existence of the chimera ant from the point of being capricious. The gyro is a person who used to be a nitrate company in a country called NDL, which has become a stronghold of the chimera ant. His face and appearance have not been revealed at all, but this was the most extensive foreshadowing in the work, with an entire reader story devoted to this Brown in Volume 20. Although he was turned into a chimera ant, he did not obey any orders from one side or the other, but rather his blood, and he disappeared somewhere to establish the second L to spread malice in the world, while remembering the strong will he had when he was a human. Then, at the end of the chimera ant version, Belfin, a chimera ant, and BF, a fire politician, head for what they expect to be Gyro's destination, Meteor City. Meteor City is a huge dump that spawned the Phantom Brigade, and one of the biggest mysteries of the 100 is whether the lawless Gyro is really there and what he intends to do there. There are rumors that he may be the ruthless boss in Hunter x Hunter. It is said that the relationship between the J Zordic family and Clara's confinement Zordic family and Chloro is deep, and the proof of this is that when he died York and Silva fought Chloro, he knew about his ability before. He also said that his body art seems to have improved even more since that time, which indicates that they have faced each other in the past. In addition, he and his wife were married in the fourth hole where Hisoka left off, and Irumi joined in the Dark Continent version. It was expected that the Zordic family and the Phantom Brigade had a deep relationship with each other. LXD Dark Sonata. The Dark Sonata is a cursed music that is said to have been composed by Lo and is said to bring great misfortune if played or heard. The melody, which uses the ability to handle music, was played by a friend of mine, and after listening to the Sonata of Darkness, my right hand became a mess, and my friend said that I also acquired the ability because of it. It is such a dangerous piece of music, but it was only mentioned briefly in a conversation between the melody and Kurapika, and has not been brought up in any conversation since. One theory is that it may be on the Dark Continent. When will the year 12 pounds return? Now, in order to defeat Nefertiti, I put heavy restrictions and constraints on myself, and along with gaining mighty power, I have temporarily lost the use of my telekinesis ability as a reaction to that. I have said that it means I am back to normal and I am currently on a leave of absence to return to the prince and find what I need to do now. That is also why Kurapika is the main character on the ship heading to the Dark Continent, not now. However, the main character of Hunter x Hunter cannot start without him, so I expect him to return to the story someday with his telekinesis back, but since it is the price he paid to gain that much power, we are not sure how long it will take. We are not sure how long it will take, since that is the price we paid to gain such power. Chase 3 Silva's statement about not messing with the Phantom Brigade. Silva is Killua's father, and he is so highly skilled in assassination that even Killua respects him, and he is so skilled that he retires from the company with a holy war even though he ate a poison so deadly that it killed a whale. It is a mystery that he is the one who told Zana to stay out of the Phantom Brigade. There is no way that Silva, who has cornered even the leader of the Phantom Brigade with such and such, can take over the Phantom Brigade with his fighting ability. It seems to me that there is some other reason why Silva, who should not have been defeated by the Phantom Brigade, has taken a hand in it. Perhaps it has something to do with the fact that they are 10 people other than the heroes. 14 Silva's meaningful statement that Killua is coming back. Silva loves his son very much, and he is especially overprotective of Killua. He says to Killua that he will definitely come back someday because he is my son. This statement is extremely meaningful. He is the least at home among his siblings, and has quit his job as an assassin to live freely in the outside world. But what is the reason why Silva doesn't doubt that Killua will come back? It is thought that he was initially hinting at the age-old curse that Illumi inserted in Killua, but since he removed it himself, he is now free from Illumi's spell. Whether this foreshadowing was recovered by that, and whether Killua thinks he will come back, was left unclear. 15 In the mysterious videotape Volume 11, when Chloro and Nobunaga of the Phantom Brigade are arguing over whether to take reckless money revenge on Kurapika, a one-page reminiscence scene is played. In the beginning, I just wanted it. In the scene, the boys are playing with a videotape with the line, "At first, I just wanted it." This videotape is rumored to be foreshadowed, and it is a videotape because it is something other than a meteor in a slum. There is no need for it anywhere, and the reason why it was a videotape is unclear. We think it is because it is significant to be represented by a full close-up of Nico. There is also a theory that it is a mystery how the Phantom Brigade, who had no education of any kind, acquired their telekinesis abilities, and that the textbook was this videotape. How could 16 Fight be reincarnated as Mary Webb's sister? Kite, God's disciple, died in the Chimera Ant version, and due to the anger caused by that, he succeeded in defeating the ferret in the future with Tawara and others, but Kite was reincarnated as a Chimera Ant girl using his own ability, and the reincarnation is the sister of Mary with the life of the horse-riding Niruri village of the Chimera Ant and one small person, and the sister Reina when it was a human called it when it was a Chimera Ant, but Reina is the lodging of another Chimera Ant, and the soul of the site is lodged in the sister of that Meruem. Since it was said that Kite's ability Crazy Slot had a number that could not be removed without dying, it has been done that he was able to be reincarnated by his own ability, but there seems to be some meaning in the fact that the reincarnation destination was Mel's sister. Who brought what is inside? Kaiua's brother Arca had an alternate personality called Something, and instead of granting wishes, he was treated as a dangerous being who could cause reasonable disasters. Its identity was a mystery, but after the discovery of the gas life form in the ancient Yakuza in Volume 33, it became a common belief that the identity of Something was love. But then, who brought that something from the Dark Continent remains a mystery. The leading theory is that it may have been brought by Tu Bloodwig, probably an ancestor of Killua, when he accompanied Koki on his secret trip to the Dark Continent, but this has not been officially said. If so, we do not know why it has attached itself to the Arca family, etc., and Something is still a mystery. 18 When and who brought the whole world and the world of gold and others, He was reunited with the puzzled god and talked with him on the world's largest tree, called the world. But Jin explained that the whole world was a tree that only grew so far because of a lack of nutrients, and that the real world would grow so fast that it would break through a great famine. And it is on the Dark Continent. This too is a mystery, and it is forbidden to even know the poison. Who on earth brought the tree from the Dark Continent, when did they bring it from the continent and bury it here, and for what purpose is also a complete mystery. There are a limited number of people who have traveled to the Dark Continent, so they may be among them, but we do not know the truth. The above is a summary of the foreshadowing that has not been revealed to this day. Hunter x Hunter has a lot of foreshadowing, some of which cannot be introduced here. Among them, I have analyzed the foreshadowing that I thought was important and will be revealed in the future. I hope that the show will resume soon and collect the foreshadowing. That's all for this time. See you in the next video.